But last night, got a little screamier than I wanted to. Just not unusual. I had a whole bottle of wine that tends to put me in a weird place. No wine today, but I do have a bit of beer. It's not as strong as the wine. Does not hit in the same way. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about that all day. I want to try to make some progress on this chat application. Hi! Hello, CMAT Hole. How you doing? I should probably get my other chat up, Twitch. And we do have EarthCamTV, that's what we're listening to. Trying to arrange all my windows nicely. Alright, so the part that I'm working on right now is like, honestly, I'm probably putting too much effort into such a small thing. But like, I want to get better at C programming in general, so like I don't mind really going down rabbit holes and stuff. So what I'm trying to do is convert a given integer to a string. So in the example that I'm using here, I'm passing in 365 as my integer, or I was. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong window. Oh, here we go. But no, now it's just set to 5. And I'm passing that into this function, but it's not returning the right thing yet. I recently changed the return value from just a character string, like I was thinking, to this struct that will actually store the value of the conversion for future reference, and because it has multiple properties, like you might just want to know how long the string is. Trying to get my camera here. And so we're going to store the length, we're going to store the original integer, and we're going to store the string. But I don't want to use more memory than I have to, so I'm probably going to dynamically allocate this to fit the length, or I'm just going to use the integer max length, count the digits in that, and use that as the length, because no number will ever be greater than the integer max, therefore no number will ever have more digits than the integer max has digits. So here I'm counting the digits in the integer max definition, because that might change. It probably won't, but technically, depending on implementation, it might change, and if it's a different number than, you know, expected, you just want to make sure I'm using the right thing. And so here, I am allocating this array to the integer max. Because, like, I'm not sure how else to do it. Well, I guess I would... Sorry, I'm learning C. Because I'm trying to think of it in running the program memory terms. Because, like, one of the principles, I think, behind C is that it knows how much memory it's going to need based on the way that the code is written. And so if I can avoid allocating the integer maximum, then it might not need to use up so much memory. But then again, like, the integer maximum, it's not that much memory. We have computers. Computers can count very quickly. I'm wasting a lot of time, I feel like, on these details, but I also want to understand. I want to be sure, I want to have confidence that I'm doing things in a way that will work in most cases. But then, like, what I just said about the C program trying to allocate all its memory ahead of time, like, that really isn't possible. Is that too bright? It might be too bright. Because the user might input something. You know, if your program has a menu and the user can, like, request more and more memory to be allocated, C isn't going to know ahead of time, like, how much it will need. I'm not sure if this is really going to answer my question. Static allocation is what happens when you declare a static or global variable. Each static or global variable defines one block of space of a fixed size. The space is allocated once when your program is started, part of the exec operation, and is never freed. Well, surely it's freed at the end, once the program closes. Automatic allocation happens when you declare an automatic variable, such as a function argument or a local variable. The space for an automatic variable is allocated when the compound statement containing the declaration is entered, and is freed when that compound statement is exited. So that's our local variable scope. They come and go in the function itself. In GNU C, the size of automatic storage can be an expression that varies. In other C implementations, it must be a constant. A third important kind of memory allocation, dynamic allocation, is not supported by C variables, but is available via GNU C library functions. So that's interesting, not supported by C variables. A technique in which programs determine as they are running where to store some information. You need dynamic allocation when the amount of memory you need or how long you continue to need it depends on factors that are not known before the program runs. For example, you may need a block to store a line read from an input file. Since there is no limit to how long a line can be, you must allocate the memory dynamically and make it dynamically larger as you read more of the line. Or you may need a block for each record or each definition in the input data. Since you can't know in advance how many there will be, you must allocate a new block for each record or definition as you read it. When you use dynamic allocation, the allocation of a block of memory is an action that the program requests explicitly. You call a function or macro when you want to allocate space and specify the size with an argument. If you want to free the space, you do so by calling another function or macro. You can do these things whenever you want, as often as you want. Dynamic allocation is not supported by C variables. There is no storage class dynamic, and there can never be a C variable whose value is stored in dynamically allocated space. The only way to get dynamically allocated memory is via a system call, which is generally a new C library function call, and the only way to refer to dynamically allocated space is through a pointer. Because it is less convenient, and because the actual process of dynamic allocation requires more computation time, programmers generally use dynamic allocation only when neither static nor automatic allocation will serve. For example, if you want to allocate dynamically some space to hold a struct foobar, you cannot declare a variable of type struct foobar whose contents are the dynamically allocated space. But you can declare a variable of pointer type struct foobar and assign it to the address of the space. Assign it the address of the space. Then you can use the operators asterisk and pointer on this pointer variable to refer to the contents of the space. Asterisk and arrow, I guess, dereference and point. Access property. So yeah, that's kind of an interesting idea. Could I make a C program that doesn't even use malloc and calloc? So what's it gonna need? I'm trying to leave it too open. I'm trying to make everything possible, which is not. Terminal. How big can it be? Okay. So fuck this shit. Like, this is the nonsense that I have so far. Slowly, bit by bit, looping through the string and concatenating it manually, basically. It's not pretty. It's not efficient. I guess it's kind of efficient. So for now, I guess I'm only going to support moving up to 10. God, sorry. For now, I guess I could just support 1 through 9. There's really only 2 positions that I want to move to. The top and the bottom of the terminal window. Fuck. I don't like when my throat gets scratchy and I can't cough it out. I also hate this fucking chair. Also, I'm sorry. Sorry for cursing. I really hate this chair. It's trying to kill me. But what isn't these days? Because, like, ultimately I was going down that rabbit hole, because I wanted my move cursor function to be able to take in any row and any column, and it would stick those into this control character, and then print that control character to the terminal, which is now using a write call, which is probably also not working. So I've got like a few things not quite working right now. Like, I've got this ones list here that I'm gonna map their characters to. So what if we... Okay, let's get this stuff out of here. Like, there's that part, and then there's... so many other parts, the 2 semicolons. Like, ideally, that would go there. But I don't think I could do string concatenation this way. And I don't actually need these to be separate. And then we just print it. Yeah, it does not like that. And it's not like I can just concatenate on the fly here. Well, this is not JavaScript. So what I can say is, car 01, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, well, like 6. So you gotta have space for the null character. Car R. Here we go. Pull that out of there. Excuse me, sorry. S is for semicolon. Okay, I'll call it SC. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll say car H? That seems silly. I don't think I need to declare variables for these. I think I could probably just use those themselves. Alright, and then we have car small for smooth, which will be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 characters. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should just do it like this. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 underscore 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And those are all going to get replaced. So then down here we can just say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 equal. Shit, I guess I don't even really need these variables. Okay. This is still silly, it's like manual concatenation, but that's fine. I like some of these songs. Like, some of them are generic, like Elevator Muzak, but I like this. I guess it's also kind of generic, but like, it's fun. It's nice and like cheerful. It kind of reminds me of like a sim game, like a City Skylines, like menu music or something. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gonna be the row, the semicolon, the column, the semicolon, the H. So I think we actually need it to be 11. And it's probably already the null character, but I just want to make sure. Huh. Oh, is that a pointer? Can I just dereference it? Is this programming? Oh yeah, I guess. Neat. Right, so we're trying to write to the out terminal the message. But because we're using the right call, we have to tell it how big it is. Let me look up the right call. I like these man pages. It's a shame their online search uses Google. Size D count. It's telling me here that this does not compute the number of array elements, but I'm not sure why it wouldn't. It's the size of the message. It should be... Oh, I guess... Oh, because it doesn't know how long. Well, what if I just write one character at a time until I hit the null in here? That might work. Sorry. I don't know if I need to do a string compare or if this will actually work. But while C is not equal to the null character, we are going to write just 1 byte. We're going to write that one character C there. And we're going to increment I. Like, I want to initialize it to something just so I know it's not the null character. Sure, that'll work. Oh no, it's gotta do it. Okay, I think I actually want to do while here. Something like that, maybe. No, I think I want to. Sorry, I think I want it the other way. Because keyboard shortcuts. My fingers are failing. We'll just do this twice. I don't know. That seems weird. I have pieces of this figured out in my head, but like getting it out, it's all mushy. So while C is not equal, I guess I would just put it at the end rather than the beginning. Yeah, duh. Okay. Okay. Pointer from integer without a cast. Oh yeah, he's supposed to be a pointer. I elevate thee. Control reaches end of non-void function. We'll just assume that worked then. Multiple definitions of one's list. Gasp. What do you mean multiple definition? First defined here. Yun nga multiple definition. There's one definition. Const care star. Oh. Const care star. Is that what I wanted? But where's second defined here? I get the first defined here, but where's second defined here? term.o, term.c, term.h. We got... What you mean? What you mean there's multiple ones list defined? Pretty sure I only have the one. Should I find? Is that better? Oh right, yeah. Oh shit. We don't use equal with define. I to C. Right, no. We're not doing that anymore, right? We're not doing I to C or I to S anymore, I don't think. Is this good? Oh yeah, I guess you don't need a semicolon, okay. Okay. Oh god. I think it's kind of working. These are nice drums. I like this. Oh, it gets frozen a lot. I don't know why. It's frozen. Nah, it's no. I don't know why it's freezing all the time, though. I would like to see things moving, you know. There's some things moving. Chicago, Illinois. Look at the pollution. We sure got some stinky cities. I don't entirely hate Chicago, but I wouldn't want to live there. That's why I broke up with my girlfriend. Well, that's why she dumped me. Alright, let's be real. She was very nice about it, though. And, like, her logic totally makes sense. Like, I harbor no ill will towards her. I was just never able to really get close to people. That sucks. I should stop trying them. Just makes things worse. So, it is printing some stuff out here. Some of the underscores were not replaced correctly. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I was thinking that the 5 here would replace it with the ones list digit of the row. I'm curious if I replace this with some kind of little placeholder. I guess print to term is actually kind of working. Is it? Is this like in non-canonical mode, right? No, it shouldn't actually be setting it to non-canonical mode. So it's just printing everything out, plop, plop, plop. Let's put some line breaks in there. That's better. Okay. It is interesting. Oh, is it because the clear term is calling it? Because clear term says print at passes 1-1, move cursor, and then print. Because move cursor sends in the row and column. But if it's printing out the S move there, it's not getting the same, it's not getting the right first characters for some reason. I don't really know what that's about. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh. Wait a second. 1, semicolon, 2, semicolon, H. And then the null character. Okay, shoot. Wait. So then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But if we start counting at 0, I would never use the 10th index. What is my brain doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The row coordinate, the semicolon, the column coordinate, the semicolon. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 for the H, and then 11. Yeah, it's gonna need to be 11. And we access the 10th thing, like that. Okay. But that doesn't work. Yeah. Alright. Make sure it's not like erasing itself, no. And then it does the print to term version. Okay, so it's doing both of these, that's good. But why is it might just be the way that it's like printf handles these kinds of characters. The \x is to represent that it's hexadecimal, I think. Hexadecimal 1b, and then the square bracket to contain the params. So it is pulling the digits out of the ones list. That's nice. Like the semicolons are working. Oh no, it didn't actually pull it out of the ones list. Oh shit. Let's see if we can get the ones list row to do that. Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. That works fine. Great. Yeah, 1-1 is actually where it would go. Do I need to backslash? I don't think so. Maybe though. Oops. Maybe though. Oh yeah. Okay, so wait, let's get that guy out of there. Take that out. And yeah, right now it's doing like that, but then if we turn on, or turn off canonical mode, no, okay. You know, like I said, I only really care about two things. Moving the cursor to the top and moving the cursor to the bottom. Let's just implement those two functions. Move cursor, top. One, semicolon, H. Oops. I don't even think I need to do it like that. I think I can just, plop it in there. Alright, so print at no longer makes sense as a function. Just take that out. I'll add those other ones back in later. Alright. don't like magic numbers in the code. So I move those out to a definition instead. Problem is, it's not showing me my user input. Oh, another problem is that it didn't, it didn't restore my, my terminal attributes like it was supposed to. Right, because I just did make clean. Okay. There we go. Yeah, and then I can't type anymore. So that's fun. Oh, it's because I commented out my exit handler. It's my own fault. Good job, me. Now it's fine? No, it's still not fine. Probably because I didn't make it right. Okay. Hey, stupid piece of shit. I guess we'll just restart terminal. Make clean. Make /build/lifeboat. Test. Enter. Control stop. LS. Alright, now we're back. Yay. Now we have function again. The question is, like, do I want to... I guess I would just plop a new line. That's probably the most graceful way. I don't know if this exact syntax is gonna work. Alright, gotta dereference? Nope, gotta pointerize it. What's your fucking problem? This is a character. I want to print that character. Yep. Oh, yeah. Sorry. That was the problem. I made assumptions instead of reading. All right. Now this should be storing my input into the user buff. But we're not seeing that when I tried to print it at the bottom. If I replace the user buff pointer with the placeholder, then we do see the placeholder. That's pretty cool. 1 p.m. in Michigan. Silver Beach Cam at St. Joseph. Aw, jeez. It's like I slide a little bit slowly over time when I'm sitting in this fucking chair and this blanket. Like, the friction is ripping me apart and I fucking hate it. I wish I lived in a world designed for fucking humans, instead of this one that wants to kill us all. That's my parents' fault. They didn't listen to reason. They're still not. So we're all gonna die, because they just want to be wrong. It's been the story of my life. So it does print the placeholder, but it does not print the actual user buff. What is this user I start at 5? What the hell? Start that at 0. Oh yeah, it doesn't actually use the top and bottom anyway. I don't know how to do this. This is just like before, you know? I might be able to just put in the something like that, right? Def term top. Okay. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it right now. Fuck it. I'll take that shit out. Maybe I'll put it back in later. Maybe not. Gotta focus on what's worth it. Oh, it's terminating itself. It's because I'm putting in that new line character, that null character. I don't know why it's not going into the user buffer. I'm wondering why it says Rogram instead of program. That might not be something I can fix. I'm wondering if my null character in the user buffer is causing issues. But like, I want to make sure that it's there, because the print to term doesn't actually know how long the message is otherwise. I guess it could. I guess it just could. Let's shorten these variable names a little bit. So now we don't actually need it like that. We can instead say while I is less than length. Do a write call to the terminal using MSG character I. We'll write it one time. And actually, we could even get fancy here and say it I++, but I don't want to confuse new people, so I'll put I++ down here. And so what do we do like that? Conflicting types for print to term. Oh yeah. And we actually gotta pass in that length we just told it we were gonna pass in. And also your name changed. What is this? Okay, we're fine. No problem. So we don't actually need to set the null characters anymore. User I is serving as our counter. So then when we print to term with the user buff, we're going to include the count. And when we print to term waiting, we're going to include 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Alright. Somewhere. Oh, yep. 1. Because I think \n is just 1. Shit, I don't know. We'll give it root for 2, I guess. It's probably not right. Give it root for 2. No, it's gonna overflow. It's gonna run too far. Expected 3 have 2. It's in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Also 10. So yeah, definitely want to, well, I don't know about definitely, because I think it is \n, much like the other one is \x. But we'll see. It seems like it doesn't have enough space for waiting. It's weird because it's also losing the first character, but then truncating the other two characters as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I guess it'd be 9, 10 for 0 index. That's an extra 1, and then the null character is another extra 1. But I need to raise all these by 2. There's an I in there, probably coming from a different thing. Oh no. Yeah, we write to the outstring, we use and message 1. Oh, I'm sorry. Maybe we want and message I like that. We write just one character at a time. Yup. I actually think it's a little too much, because I think it's taking extra characters that it doesn't own. Look, I'm just curious about where that W is going. Because I'm telling this guy to print this waiting string. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the 9th is the null character. Which is trash. Notice this thing that's my extra little print call. No, still truncating the W. I'm gonna make some corn while I consider this. Basically, I'm thinking I'm still trying to do too much at once. Like, I've got this LB term class that I've set up, and I'm starting to think, like, man, the more I can just cram into the main function, that might be better. The main file. Because I don't want any part of it to do too much. I stripped out the logger. I guess con list probably makes sense, because that one's actually going to be allocating the connections themselves. But if I keep it to a fixed size, I don't really need to do dynamic at all. I could allocate enough space for 64 connections coming in and going out or whatever, and like, there probably won't be too much space. Someone can always just replace the number 64 with a different number if they need more than that. I don't know. Thinking though. Don't mind me, just making corn on the cob. Some fuel. I do plan to keep programming, a little bit more at least. If we're careful, we might be able to find something to watch that won't get us in trouble. Whilst I eat my corn. Yeah. Sorry. This is a real comment. I restarted my recording. Yeah, this is a real comment I got on YouTube. Not on one of my videos. I went on to this video. I was gay until I died and heard God say this. And I left my own comment on this person's comment of, you know, sad delusion. But we've got this comment, and just, it made me laugh. So I'm gonna read it. Please join with me in prayer for my daughter, as she has lived the gay life for around 7 years now. And as a believer, I love her so much. I even love the girl she is in a relationship with. They both believe in Jesus and claim him as their savior, but are just lost. Oh. So wait, even though they accepted Jesus as their savior, you think they're going to hell for being gay? I pray that God will open their eyes and let them be a vessel to bring glory to Jesus. I believe I have faith, and I thank Jesus in advance, for the turn of both of them, and they used to bring God glory from their story. Yeah, you see this fucked up shit? You see how they're, like, thanking them in advance for something that is not going to happen? Shut the fuck up. Maybe Jesus wants them to be gay and wants you to shut the fuck up. You're thanking him in advance for something you want to happen, but God doesn't. I want to fuck you, kill yourself, you know, all that shit. That wouldn't be helpful. And this probably also won't be helpful because I said shut the fuck up. Maybe, though. It's only a maybe. Maybe Jesus wants them to be gay, and maybe wants... Okay, we'll cut it there. Maybe Jesus wants them to be gay. You're thanking him in advance for something you want to happen. But surely if Jesus and God wanted it, it would have happened by now. What is wrong with them being gay? Like, obviously we're on a video that was like a former gay or whatever converting away from gay. It's like, it's all bullshit. I feel bad for this guy because he's lying to himself. But hey, what can you do? I'm making corn. Excuse me. Sorry. Just kind of came out there. Actually, I'll just leave this one in the microwave till I'm done eating this other one. Probably should have not opened the door. Oh well. Oh well. What you got for us, Dan McClellan?
Does Jeremiah 10 condemn Christmas trees? Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion, and every time I start making videos about a lot of the misinformation in circulation about Christmas, the origin of December 25th, the origin of Christmas trees, inevitably I get somebody asking about Jeremiah 10. Let's take a look at the passage. This is the updated edition of the New Revised Standard Version. For the customs of the peoples are false. A tree from the forest is cut down and worked with an axe by the hands of an artisan. They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with hammers and nails so that it cannot move. Their idols are like scarecrows in a cucumber field, and they cannot speak. They have to be carried, for they cannot walk. Do not be afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, nor is it in them to do good. And a lot of people seem to think that the tradition that is being referred to in verses 3 and 4 is the cutting down of a tree to bring it inside and decorate it and either worship it or just use it as part of a celebration and perhaps a winter celebration. So the idea seems to be either that this witnesses to an ancient non-Jewish tradition of bringing trees indoors and decorating them, or it might be referring to something else, but prophetically it is condemning the use of the Christmas tree. Neither of these things is true. This is about cutting down a tree to use the wood to create an idol. Now, here's the Hebrew of this passage, and I want to talk in a little more detail about what's going on in here, just because the translation makes it a little harder to understand. The far left of the second line down, the last four words are Ma'aseh Yedei Charash B'Ma'atzad, and that is translated in the NRSV UE, worked with an axe by the hands of an artisan. And literally it is the work of the hands of an artisan with tools. And so those tools might be an axe, could be something else. So some people think this just is a reference to cutting down the tree, but it's very clearly not. It is a reference to the working of the wood into the shape of whatever the divine image is going to be, whether that is anthropomorphic or something else. The first step for the creation of a divine image in the ancient world, whether that's Syria, Palestine, or Assyria, or Egypt, is to get wood, which usually served as the core of the divine image. And certain types of wood were considered best for that. In fact, in ancient Mesopotamia, the tamarisk tree was so commonly used as the core of a divine image that that type of wood was referred to as the etzemti Eli, or the bone of the gods, because it formed the internal part of the divine image. Then we go on to verse 4, and in the NRSV UE, we see they deck it with silver and gold. Now, if we go to the Hebrew, it says, in silver and gold, they beautify it. And
No offense
some
to
people
Dan,
think,
this
oh,
is
this
very
is
helpful
like,
information.
decorations,
It's just so much more
tinsel,
boring
we're
than I
throwing
was
silver and
expecting.
gold tinsel all over it, or we're decorating it with
I can see why people would think that that
globes or
verse was
whatever,
referring to Christmas
stars.
trees, but I can
And
also
the reality
see how
is
it's
that this
like,
is a
more
reference
about
to
idols.
covering the core of the divine
In a way,
image
isn't the
in
Christmas tree
silver
kind of
and
like an
gold
idol?
plating. Because normally
Like
the
we
divine
bring it
image was
inside, we like we put a
supposed
little
to be
angel
made
on it.
of
We're like,
a combination of a
praise,
wood
praise
core
be the tree.
and then usually gold
No.
or silver exterior, because that was considered appropriate
Everything everyone does is
material
really
to
stupid.
represent the divine being. And if you would like a discussion of how divine images were made in ancient Mesopotamia and Egypt, here are a handful of wonderful texts you can go check out. I also discuss it in my book, Adonai's Divine Images, which is open access. You can find it through my link tree. And this chapter discusses how divine images were made, how divine images were encountered, and goes through the fact that they usually had a wooden core and then an outside that was made of precious metals like silver and gold. So this is about a divine image. Now, next in verse 4, as we see in the NRSV UE, it says they fasten it with hammers and nails so that it cannot move. Now, a lot of people imagine that this indicates this is a tree because they've got to hold it upright, otherwise it'll fall down. And that's not what's going on here. If you look in other idol polemic passages in Deutero-Isaiah, for instance, you see that divine images, one of the ways they're mocked is by the fact that they topple over, that you have to be careful to make sure they are standing upright because they are intended to stand upright. So here the idea is
if they set up their idol and they're like, oh, this is Moloch,
it is fixed in
and then you just
place,
knock
that
it over
does
like,
not
no, Moloch.
topple over. And the next indication that this is definitely talking about divine images and not talking about some decorated tree is that the next verse quite explicitly refers to divine images. The beginning of verse 5, their idols are like scarecrows in a cucumber field, and they cannot speak, they have to be carried, for they cannot walk. Do not be afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, nor is it in them to do good. So this is rhetoric that is condemning the use of divine images. A tree was chopped down so that the wood could be worked into whatever shape the core of this divine image was going to take. That involved removing the branches, removing the bark, shaping it into the shape they wanted, and then applying the silver and gold and other types of overlays to it. So this is not about a tree that is being decorated and brought indoors. This is about divine images. This has nothing to do with Christmas trees. There was no such tradition in this time or this place, and this is not something that is prophetically looking forward to the use of the Christmas tree. Jeremiah 10 absolutely is not condemning Christmas trees. And the fit for this video is the Spider-Man meme.
Thank you, Dan. I like his videos. I like information. And he's good at, he does his research, he looks at the Hebrew, he talks about the translation. You know, it could mean this, it could mean this. It most likely, you know, given all available possibilities, this one seems most true to me for these reasons. I like that. That's very good presentation. I got one more bit of corn to eat. And I'll try to get back to programming, I guess. Oh, there's Washington, D.C. Where people make decisions that affect the entire world. Mostly for the worst. Worse? Mostly for the worse. There are some good people trying very hard to do the right thing and save lives. We gotta look for them and we gotta help them. Support them in whatever way we can. Sorry for these delays. Oh, God, was I unmuted the whole time? Sorry again if it was gross sounds. It was very good, though. Very, very tasty. People chatting, walking around in New Orleans. Bourbon Street. Nice. Alright, now I'm full of butter, salt, pepper, and plant fiber. So I think I wanted to reduce, but like, I'm still having confusion about why it's only printing out hating without the W. And I'm wondering if I need some kind of new line character before? Maybe. I figured since I was just using the right call. Well, I is less than the length. Access the first character of the message. Write it to the output, which should be standard out. Just one character at a time. Increment I. Why am I doing it one character at a time? I'm silly. Because if I raise this up to 10, we start borrowing from another line. We get an I character, which is not supposed to be there. We don't want to go that high. But then why is it not including the W there? I don't know. I could try putting a space first, so maybe the space gets swallowed instead. Come on, there you go. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I guess if I add the space, I also have to increment the count. Nope, that doesn't do it either. Which is weird. Why, what, how? If you were showing me this before, and then I added a leading space, Shouldn't you show me more now? If I do XX weighting and raise it up to 11, second, X weighting, okay. There's no output there. Nope, nope, nope. Now you broke it again. What the hell? What are you doing with the white space? Waiting I? No. What do you mean waiting I? Okay, so then we take a character off the end. Okay. What is happening? It eats the first character no matter what. And then it puts the X on the next part? What the hell? Because it's just writing. It's just a write call. The length of the message, which is 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and the null character. Hello. Maybe I actually need to put the null character in there. Myself? Is that a thing? Writing takes place at the file offset. The journey I've been on has been very interesting. Would love to tell you all about it. Oh, what's up? Yeah, I can read. I'm guessing this is just some technical issue with the standard output and the way that it like renders things. For a few months, I've been searching for other streamers with the name Bagel. Oh, okay. Yesterday started up again. And finally, we all joined other bagel streams and showed support. Made a bagel Discord, now there's like 20 bagels in there. That's awesome! Wow. bagel movement. Hell yeah. Well, we need all the movements we can get, you know, like we need things to change. But that's cool. That's cool that you could find so many other people where you're like, yeah, why not? You can support each other's streams and stuff. Like, that sounds really good. Right? It's funny, I can just imagine bagel raids happening. Oh man, that'd be so cool. Just shower somebody in bagels. That's a great idea. Guess I want to flush the stream. How's the coding journey been going? Slow. Slow, but not bad. I'm trying to just enjoy it and, like, not get too in the way myself. Like, just trying to focus on what's actually happening with the numbers and the values and things. But that's when it gets really confusing, because, like, here I was just trying to print out a string, but if I don't put the X in front, it just prints out aiding. So I was like, okay, well, if it's cutting off the W, I'll just put something else there. And so I put an X there, and now it prints waiting, and then the X later? Like, that's also wrong. Like, neither of this shit is what I want. I want it to actually do 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But I admit I don't really know what I'm doing. If during this print to term call, I should flush the output before writing to it, maybe? Or after? Like, I just don't know. But it puts it at the end? Had me curious myself. Cool. Well, maybe we can figure it out. But I don't know. Because I would like to just print the whole word there. And I don't know if it's something special about standard out itself, or if maybe the previous character that it has is somehow eating the next character. That could be a thing, because I am calling this move cursor top. Maybe, well, if I just take off one of those. Oh yeah, maybe I was allocating too much memory for a different string. No, okay. It's a good idea. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I went with 8 there, but what if I just call it 7? 1, 2, and a W. Here, we're gonna skip the loop. We're just gonna try print to term. I already forgot if it was 8 or 9. I think it was just 8. Yeah. The stream lag for. I tried reconnecting to the Wi-Fi. Maybe that helped. Sorry about the bad connection. I live in America. They're killing us. I'm kind of amazed that I can stream at all. I'm sure I'm lucky. Yeah, see, like, even when I'm just printing it by itself, it prints aiding and then a W. So, like, okay. We're just... If I turn this down to 7, then we lose the period at the end. But we still have the W hanging on the front. So it kind of seems like C is bugged. I'm sure it's just byte bullshit, but... There's no explanation here, just replace this bullshit, which is already wrong and not what I would have done in the first place, with this other bullshit, which did not fix the wrongness of the first thing. It's just doing something different. And saying, oh yeah, make sure you don't go into too many states. Like, what do you mean? Like, you mean too many characters? If you're really adamant that you need a while loop, nope, that's not the part that matters. None of this matters. None of this is addressing the issue. You're all wasting your fucking time and mine. Thanks. No, scanf is wrong. This whole concept is wrong. I'm saying write to standard out ignores the first character. The string that's outputted is omitting the first character of the string. Yeah, me too. No one actually answered why that is. Care is not the problem. It's literally the output. It's the printf. It's the write call. Sounds like a terrible idea. How long has C been broken? Isn't it supposed to be, like, very static, very controlled? Just plop it on there. It's like, no, we need more control. We need complete control, or else someone destroys us. Like, that's as much as possible, anyway. Because I don't want to use F puts, I want to just use write. That way we're giving it the actual count instead of leaving it up to... I fucking hate this music. Apologies if you were getting down with it. You could go to EarthCam.tv for yourself and dance, I guess. I don't know. What the hell? Rock out? Rock out with your smock out? Are we doctors in this scenario? Sure. It's existentially infuriating, because I shouldn't even have this question. This isn't something that should happen. If I'm printing a word, how? In what fucking world does it remove the first character and just print out the rest? And then, like, how do you search that? How do you find a solution to that? Why is it even happening? It shouldn't be happening. There's no reason that should be happening. But now I have to fucking debug the entire C programming language, which was designed wrong on purpose, like everything else in our fucking lives right now, and fix it for them. And there are infinite of these things for me to fix, to make one program that works and isn't vulnerable. Everything is built on this broken foundation. Everything is vulnerable. I think people are deeply underestimating how badly we're about to get fucked by the rich. Because they're already in control. They already have everything. They already have the data. They wouldn't be doing this if they didn't know they would succeed. There is some hope for us to survive, only if we talk to each other very clearly. Very, very importantly, because all life is at stake. We have to hold each other accountable, or we are all going to die for someone else's greed. That's kind of my goal with this program, is to make an application that people can use to connect to each other and have these discussions privately in a way that the rich cannot hack in our lifetimes. In theory, if I do every single thing right and also wasn't lied to about the encryption itself. We can only hope. Might as well try, otherwise I'll just give it up, and I can't do that. I'm too scared to give up. So, theories. Why might it be moving that one over there? I think it's just something to do with the standard output itself. The stream STD out is line buffered when it points to a terminal. So I think this is what's causing the issue. This can produce unexpected results, especially with debugging output. Well, that is me. The buffering mode of the standard streams or any other stream can be strange. Use set buff or set vbuff call. Note that in case the STDN is associated with the terminal, there may also be input buffering in the terminal driver entirely unrelated to the STD IO buffering. Indeed, normally terminal input is line buffered in the kernel. This kernel input handling can be modified using calls like tc set attr, which I've done. See also stty and termios. Yeah, I'm using termios. Set buff. Do I need to set the buffering mode? Oh, I could set it to be not line buffered. Ooh. That might be good. Well, could I do that in the attributes as well? Line buff. Input is made available line by line. Input line is available. That's in canonical mode. In non-canonical mode, input is available immediately. Yes. But the output is still set to line control. To be line buffered. So I think I just want to set the... I want to do this set buff call. I'll do that when I get back. 1 sec. Ba-ba-bum. Aw, dang it. I see my net is going down again. I can't really do much about it. I'll try and restart my stream, maybe? Well, actually, closing EarthCamTV seemed to fix it, like, immediately. Huh. Interesting. Well, I guess we're done with EarthCamTV, then. Could have just been coincidence, coulda. Sonic! Open your heart! I need you! I need your inspiration, Sonic. Where's the one from Sonic Adventure 2? The lyrics. Yes. No, that's DX though. I want 2. I think. God damn it. Right, I don't want to mix. I don't want to mix. You fucker. And then even when you take off the list, it's like, autoplay is on! I'm gonna play you a mix anyway! I will never stop playing you bullshit you don't want to hear! Thanks, YouTube. I need inspiration. What is with this, like, transparent grid over it? What the hell is happening? Alright, like... I swear I watched a better version of this, like, just yesterday. Oh, I think I'm just... I was searching the wrong song. Okay, here we go. It's very different.
Don't criticize. I'm just living by my own feelings, and I won't give in, won't compromise, 'cause I only have a steadfast heart of gold. I don't know why I can't leave, though it might be tough, but I ain't out of control, just living by my word. Don't ask me why, I don't need a reason. I got my way, my own way. Doesn't matter now what happens. I will never matter who is wrong and who is right. Well, I don't look back, I don't need to. Time won't wait, and I've got so much to do. Where do I stop? It doesn't matter now what happens. I will never dance on the one you think is right.
Did that also tank my bandwidth, or is it just unrelated? Ugh. I really hate this chair. I really hate these pants. I really hate this blanket. I really hate every fucking thing in my life. I really hate my life. I hate that I was born at all. I hate my parents. Because of all of these things, excuse me, it is impossible to sit comfortably. Just impossible. It just hurts. It's just everything is pain, constantly, all the time. There is no relief, just more pain. It's stupid fucking people telling me that there is relief. No, there's not. You fucking liars. Grow the fuck up. Alright, so I'm wondering if I can set the buffering type to just be unbuffered? What is block buffered? When an output stream is unbuffered, information appears on the destination file or terminal as soon as written. Excuse me. When it is block buffered, many characters are saved up and written as a block. When it is line buffered, characters are saved up until a new line is output or input is read from any stream attached to the terminal device, typically standard in. The function flash may be used to force the block out early. I'll probably just go with unbuffered then, I think. Okay, so maybe I'll just change it to, is fully buffered the same as block buffered? And the standard error is always unbuffered by default. Okay. Except for unbuffered files. Buffered is a funny word. I love that song. It doesn't matter now what happens. I will never give up the fight. It's very inspirational. Sonic has that, like, yeah, let's fucking go kick the shit out of the bad guys. So set vbuff mode is one of the following three macros. Doesn't matter now what happens. I will never give up the fight. I almost want to watch someone play like A Link to the Past or something. Oh, let me actually log in. Maybe that'll get me more relevant results. At the expense of all of my data. Hi, I'm Mike Stowe. Visit my website, snoopsqueak.com. You can have all my data for free. I'm not using it. Oh, you can watch the Game Grumps play it, but like... oh, that's the one in 2015, after John. After John Trot. James and Mike Mondays. Okay, yeah, I probably watched James and Mike play it.
A lot of times people ask me what's my favorite game of all time, and I always answer Zelda: Link to the Past on Super Nintendo. And it came out November 21st, 1991 in Japan. So this is the 25th anniversary.
Yeah, one of the greatest games of all time. Let's do it. Here's 1991, 1992.
Mm-hmm.
Zelda
That's
2
when I was
Adventure
born.
of Link was like around 88, I guess, because Legend of Zelda is 86.
Oh, god damn it, I'm gonna have to... This is gonna be the focus. My programming will take a backseat. It doesn't matter now what happens. I will never give up the fight. Place all your bets on the one you think is right. Okay, whoops. Yeah, Hi, I'm Mike Matei. I'm very good at drawing, and I'm very funny. That's about all I know about Mike Matei. Alright, let's go over here. This game is dookie diarrhea poopy shit. Hi, I'm Angry Video Game Nerd. Okay. We'll be done, technology is wonderful. You know, it's the people who are terrible. Technology is good. Because technology is applied science. A lot of the bullshit that is available today is not really technology. It's greed. It's greed made manifest. But at its core, technology is good. Technology, you know, fire is a form of technology. We applied science to cook our food. Oh, jeez.
Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, look, who do you think played this last?
Yeah, that's funny.
Mike.
I want to keep that
AVGN.
one,
I
'cause it
didn't
looks like-
make it very far when I did it. That's
Oh,
funny.
we'll make it far this time.
Yeah, you can erase me.
You can erase
Now, the
me.
idea of this, just so you know, is that we're going to try to rush through the game as quick as we can. We're not going to collect every heart
God damn.
piece and do everything.
He's kind of sexy.
You know,
Yeah.
read every.
It's not a
dialogue, but-
completionist video.
Yeah. I love the story in this
I
game.
don't know what it
think
is about, like,
if
either
you
his
asked me
face or,
one
like, his
reason
attitude.
Why is this my favorite game?
He's
I
it's
think
close
it's
though.
because it was the
He's-
first
he's
game where
right
I
on the
really
line of,
got
like,
involved in the story
Dork,
and
you know,
actually
not that
cared about
dorks
what
can't
was
be hot
happening.
too.
Right, because in the original Legend of Zelda,
know what
it's
it is,
really
like-
just a text that scrolls.
It might just be that he's not on camera as much, and I'm so used to seeing God, what the hell is his name? James Rolfe. And like, I like the way he looks too, but like, he doesn't have like a supermodel kind of like bone structure thing. He's got more of like I don't want to say frumpy or dumpy, but like more like like the schlubby, almost like worn down. Like he seems like a world weary man who, and that's part of his character. He's just like sick of everything. He's got the big frown that he could do is so fucking good. I can't frown like that. Well, actually, shit, maybe I can. I've got that that stupid little gif of me, but just biggest frown and my stick body wiggling all over the place. But that's neither here nor there. I don't know.
in the beginning.
Yeah, there's a story, but it doesn't like.
It's not
the way-
elaborate like this.
Yeah, this was the first game I remember with an elaborate story that sort of unfolds. Different things happen as it goes, and there's little details I remember, like little
Yeah, probably the way that I would put it is Link to the Past finally has a story that you can't ignore. Zelda 1, virtually no story if you're just playing the game. Like, there is some story in the instruction booklet, but if you're just playing the game, it's like, you're in the world where you want to go. I'm going to go in the cave. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this. Is that a story? Kinda. It's kind of like, oh, the old man gave Link a sword. Link used that sword to go further. Link talks to the old man several times, or maybe they're different old men. And it's like, you know, almost like a story, but you really don't have to care. And if you're a child who cannot read, you just like, whatever, I got a sword. And you just carry on, you know? But then in A Link to the Past, like, people are saying things that matter. People are talking about the world itself and, like, landmarks and how to get to places and what things mean, what's happening. And, like, the more you pay attention, the more you are rewarded. You still don't necessarily have to know how to read to play through A Link to the Past, but it helps a whole lot, and it enriches the entire experience. The story helps. The story is told through the game, as opposed to just being in the instructions and then you play the game. Yeah.
stories, like how there's the two brothers who are having an argument, and
Oh, yeah.
they put a wall
Like,
between them,
seals
and then
up the wall.
One of them, or like you go get like a bomb, you get the big bomb, and you
Yeah.
come back, which it might happen here. You blow open the wall, and then he's like, "Oh, well, I guess I'll talk to my brother again now that the wall's open."
Yeah.
And then at the end of the game, they're friends, and you see them together during the credits, and I
Yeah.
found that very how do I say, just
Nice.
charming.
Yeah.
So
Satisfying.
reunite with your with a sibling that you're having an argument with by blowing a hole in their wall.
Yeah,
It's great.
exactly.
Well, it gives you this nice, when a game makes callbacks to itself, like, it gives this, it kind of reinforces the idea that this world is real. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that. I remember those guys. Like, oh yeah, this is the natural progression from where I last saw them. You can imagine them having whole other lives outside of just what we see in the game. I love that shit.
Yep.
It's not a incredibly hard game, but it's not an incredibly easy game. It's somewhere in the
It
middle.
gets
And I
pretty
think that's
hard.
what was good about
a
Link
fair
to the
balance.
Past, and
Yeah. Honestly, it's one of the harder Zelda games. But it's still not, like, brutally hard. It's not as hard as Zelda 2. I mean, it's hard in a different way, because it's not a side-scrolling platformer. But it's also more forgiving, because you can load up on potions and get so many hearts. So, like, if you're willing to, I don't even want to say grind, but, like, just collect resources, you can set yourself up to make it easier. But it is hard. Some of the enemies have some bullshit attacks that can be hard to dodge and do a lot of damage. And if you're just not capable of defeating them before they defeat you, like, that sucks. do it again. Try again. Like, how many times? How do I actually do this? But, like, it's really not that hard. There are a lot of different ways to get it. I think maybe one of the choke points would be, like, timing. At some point you always have to be good at timing, and you don't necessarily have to count to be good at timing. You just have to, like, think, pay attention, and adjust. You just have to adjust.
Mario World is that they're somewhere in the middle. They're not super hard, they're not super easy, they're a good difficulty, and I think that was probably intentional by Nintendo, because they have such a wide audience. They didn't want to make the mistake that they did with Super Mario Brothers 2, the Japanese version, by making it incredibly hard.
Well, yeah, what I like about a lot of classic Nintendo games is that, yes, they are hard, but not necessarily hard to beat, especially if you know the direct path there. But they have more challenge if you're willing to go look for it. And they have, like, extra stuff and side stuff, and I love that, where it kind of rewards you naturally for pushing your own limits at whatever pace you feel best at. Like, I don't like it so much when games are like, alright, are you a little basic bitch, or are you a skilled gamer? Like, right up front, choose between easy or hard. Like, I don't know. Like, give me a more flexible challenge where I can bite off as much as I want, and then try to chew it, or choke on it, you know?
So yeah, they knew by this point how to strike a good balance.
Yeah,
with the difficulty.
They were
I'm sure they had
very
many testers
skillful
making sure that it wasn't
at this time making games
too hard or too easy, because that's the other danger, is if the game's too easy, then it's not fun if it's too easy.
Yeah. I even remember an article on Nintendo Power talking about the difficulty in games and saying how we want to make sure that games are, not too hard, because they'll intimidate people away from playing them. And then if it's too easy, then, it doesn't give you enough of a challenge.
It has to strike a good balance, yeah.
It almost seems like this game could be very short if the idea was just to save Zelda and then you go back and this is the end of the game. But so much more happens.
Did you ever know anybody that didn't like Zelda?
I don't think so.
Or that didn't play
I think I know people who maybe didn't care for him, but I don't know anybody who straight up doesn't like it.
I think there's people that don't care. Not many. I think most gamers like Zelda, but I've encountered people that have not played the Zelda games.
Well, I could understand people not liking it as, like, a response to how much people like me might jizz on it. Because that was my response to Undertale. People were like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever, you have to play it. And, like, I still haven't touched Undertale because it was covered in jizz the first time I heard about it. And I'm like, video games have existed before this. It's like, no, but there's a tutorial, and, like, you don't even have to kill the people. I'm like, okay, yeah, moral choices have existed in video games before this. Interactive tutorials that do actually contribute to gameplay have existed before this. This is not inventing anything. It's just doing it well. And I can give it that credit, but, like, stop pretending that this is the only game that has ever existed. Like, ugh. I probably should have got on board, though. I probably should have got on the Undertale train back when it was important, but, like, I was scared. I was a scared kid, a teenager, I guess, or 20s, whatever. And, like, new things are scary, and I don't know what to trust. And, yeah, maybe someday I'll actually play it for myself. I still haven't. There's so many other games. There's so many games. But I like this discussion. I like these guys. They're just chill dudes hanging out, talking. I wanted to do, like, a video podcast with my friends, but, they didn't want to. They didn't want to do anything. Well, actually, they wanted to do everything for themselves. They did not want to pay me rent that they agreed to pay before they moved in, but they did want to take my money, take my food, make messes in my home, not do chores, and keep asking for more. Like, hey, can we paint this wall? Can we paint, like, a giant tree on this wall? Like, no. No, I'm probably going to sell this house someday. Don't do that. Think ahead, please. Ugh. replace the roof so the old shitty one wouldn't fall in and kill them. That costs like $10,000. And they couldn't afford $100 a month. I mean, they could. They were living in other places that cost way more than that immediately before moving in with me. Why am I the only person you cannot support? I'm not an endless resource that you just get to take from. You exploited me, so now we fell apart. We could have done anything, but you chose to exploit me instead of support me when I was holding all of us up. You dragged us all down. You could not carry your own weight. And I tried to carry your weight for you. I really did. But it was too much, because you weren't doing anything. Anything at all. I hate you for not recognizing that I am alive. That I am a person of some kind. I hate you for pretending that the things I say aren't true. I'm not like you. I don't have the luxury of ego and vanity. I don't have the luxury of lying. Fuck you for abusing it. Fuck you for exploiting me. Of course, that was a message for people who are probably not watching my stream. But I can only guess.
There's a lot of things that are kind of cryptic, and I think people can often get stuck in these games, because I've heard the story again and again of like, oh, I tried Zelda, but I got stuck on level 2 or something. I couldn't make it any further.
The first game, I think, had the most issues with that, if you really go back, but so many people talked about that game. Like on the school bus, you'd always have people, trading tips and everything. So
for me, with the original Legend of Zelda, I can understand that there's things that are very cryptic in the game and hard to figure out, but I like checking every single thing that you can possibly check, and looking around every corner, and I don't care if it takes me a ton of time to explore. I'll just keep exploring and exploring until I figure it out. So that was never really a problem with me, but that kind of goes to what type of gamer I am, because I like to do that. I think there's some people that just want to beat the game and rush, and I don't want to say rush through it, but
yeah, which is kind of what I'm doing here. Like, actually, the way I'm playing right now is not the way I would typically play. I would fight every single one of these guys. I'd kill every one. And this guy I am because he's in my way, but like if he wasn't in my way, I would have just ran past him. Now when I typically play, I like to be very complete. I like to do every single thing that you need to do.
I'm the same way. I mean, and as you're saying, we're not going to do that here because of time for the video. It would take a long time to collect all the hearts and every little thing that there is to collect, but one of the things that people talk about a lot is Zelda Wind Waker, and how a lot of people don't like Legend of Zelda the Wind Waker because of the sailing aspect. That's the first thing people will say. People that don't like the game, that's what they say about it. And my thing about it is the sea that's in that game is basically, that's Hyrule, except that now it's on water. And I actually think it's a great game because you sail from island to island in that game. Each section of that water map, that water grid, has an island, or it has something to do in that grid. So, and even when you're on the water, there's things to do. You might get encountered by an octopus or something that you have to fight, or different things that you have to fight along the way before you get to the island in each area. And then when you get to the islands, there's a ton of things to do on every island. You might have to collect a Triforce piece, or you might have to collect a treasure chest, or you might have to meet a certain person or get a certain item. I think that that's an awesome game for people that like to explore, and like we're talking about, like with the original Legend of Zelda, how it's a game of, you got to be the type of gamer that likes to explore. And so for people that don't like Wind Waker for the water aspect, I would say give it another chance, but you have to have some patience with it. It's a game that's it's a lengthy game. It takes a while to beat. Like this game, we could probably get through in a day, where Wind Waker, you're not getting through in a day. You have to play it you know,
Like,
for several days at least.
I feel like I might have played parts of that with you in college.
Yeah.
And I do remember you telling me a lot about the water. I feel like everything I know from Wind Waker, I probably know from you. So I am kind of familiar about what it is, but I've never had a chance yet to actually play it all the way through.
It's a big time investment.
Yeah, and knowing that is why I've never done it yet, because I need to like block out some quality time to play it.
Right.
And I finally played Link's Awakening after all these years, so I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I want to do Majora's Mask. I know that one has like
Also time consuming.
Yeah, and I know there's mixed opinions about that game, but I want to play it. That makes me want to play it even more. So I have an opinion.
Mixed opinions
you know?
about Majora's Mask is generally pretty well regarded.
I just want to point some out, like an idea for your top 10 videos.
Okay.
Top 10 animal cruelty in videos. I didn't hit them, but if I hit them with the pot, you know.
Right. Go for
Like
the right one.
Like so many video games are all about abusing animals.
Crazy Creatures.
Well, that one, if you count that, yeah.
That was the guys flying off screen. Oh, here you go. And this is where they first played the theme song.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I played this game, and then that moment happened. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Now we're playing Zelda." It was so exciting, and I had a friend that I played this game with afterwards. The first time I played this, I played it by myself, so I was able to have that little moment to myself, which was great. But when I played the game later, with a friend of mine, he said something completely different. He's like, "Oh man, they're using that same old music again. Why don't they do something new?" And I was like, "Oh, but that's the Zelda music."
Maybe that's what a lot of people think these days, because I'm a fan of theme songs, you know, but maybe a lot of people are tired of hearing the same thing. I don't know.
I think that's part of it. Absolutely.
One of the other classic things about this game is how you walk into people's homes and just throw pots all over the place.
Throwing pots and breaking pots is a staple in the Zelda universe.
Link is very rude. Another thing is that I used to always cut every single bush I see when I play, because I'm just very obsessive over that. So,
well, the best cutting bushes is when you get the Pegasus boots, and then you can just go through the bushes.
Oh, I love the Pegasus boots. That's my favorite thing. I use it compulsively. Like I never walk. I use it every chance I can.
My personal favorite part of Legend of Zelda, you know, people talk about the story, they talk about the characters and the art design and the great music and the theme song and all this stuff. The reason I like Zelda is because of what you're doing right here. I like to go through the dungeons, and I like to figure out the puzzles in the dungeons. That's what
the dungeons I love.
Yeah, that's what made me fall in love with Zelda. And that's the...
I think just the overall like structure of Zelda is great. Like very naturally engaging. It's like, oh, you explore the overworld, you kind of go wherever you want, do whatever you want, low stakes, kind of high reward sometimes, and then you find a dungeon, and now it's like, okay, well, I'm more confined, there's only so many ways I can go, and I actually have to like deal with challenges before I can go to the place that I want to go. And it's more like, you know, you gotta play by our rules, you're in the dungeon, but then once you get back out, it's like, oh, I can do whatever I want. Like, I love that kind of flip back and forth. It really gives the pacing something that like it feels like a relief when you finish a dungeon. Like, finally I can go back outside and like just hang around and talk to people and look for the next dungeon. It's a good loop.
Part of the game I personally find the most fun. Doing all the mini quests and stuff like that, that's fun too, like collecting bug nets and blowing open houses and whatever, all that, you know, that's fun, but the core gameplay is what you're doing here, you know, and I think that's the part that makes Zelda.
Another thing about why it's my favorite game, because sometimes it's hard to find, it's not like you really pick your favorite, like your favorite picks you. Somebody told me that one time. It's like you don't really, it's not like you really thought about it much, it's just something sticks with you. And
yeah, I guess when someone asks you to pick a favorite, they're not saying like decide which one is your favorite, they're saying like introspect and feel which one stands out the most to you. Like, you really don't choose it, but if you're honest, you can represent it. And like me, Ocarina of Time, pretty easily. Zelda 2 was also great, and I love it, but Ocarina of Time was like mind-blowing. Like, Ocarina of Time only hit me so hard because I had Zelda 2 to go off of. Ocarina of Time resonated with Zelda 2 while also doing its own totally crazy thing that I loved when it came out. And of course, I have very special memories of exploring that game with friends and brothers and family. Never did find that Triforce. It's just not there. Triforce ain't there. What did we even think would happen? Anything. Games were magic back then. We didn't know what they were capable of. We thought maybe there was a Triforce somewhere. I don't know. If you find it, maybe there's some kind of cutscene, or maybe you get some kind of magic power. I don't know. It's just not there. The code has been analyzed. We had one more shot to bury some secrets. I have no idea why this output is putting the W on the next line. I tried to change the buffer style. I'm doing a set V buff here now to make it non-buffered, but it doesn't seem to help. I'll be right back.
And that's the first thing that comes to your mind. Like that's my favorite one, and nothing else has ever really been that important to me. I mean, lots of things are important, but this was like the most important game to me. And I think a lot of it has to do with when it comes out. Like, what did that game do for you at that time when it came out? Do you know anyone who has something favorite that's like recent, like that it just came out? Because I'm sure that could happen too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure that there's that, but I know that this whole favorite discussion.
Yeah.
It's a discussion because that's a question that a lot of people will ask. When you go to conventions, one of the big questions you'll get is like, what's your favorite video game, or your least favorite video game? When I do live streams, I get a lot of those type of questions, like what's your favorite movie or what's your favorite video game? But that's a hard question, I think, because a lot of times my favorite turns out to be maybe what I'm playing at the time, and my opinion on what my favorite can be changes. Like right now, this is my favorite game because we're playing it. I'm seeing it. It's like I'm seeing it in front of my eyes right now, and I'm like, wow, this game is amazing. Like, look at this game. It's awesome. I love everything about it. But then when I'm playing the original Zelda, I'm like, you know what? That's my favorite game. I love that game. That's my favorite. When I'm playing Doom, I'm like, you know what? I think Doom is actually my favorite game, not Zelda. So it's kind of like picking a favorite is very difficult for me, because I kind of hate saying something's my favorite, because that kind of is like, I have a lot of things that are my favorite.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But for me, for some reason, it's so easy to pick this one. Like, it's just
Can you actually say that this game you like this better for sure, without a doubt, at any given time?
I've been asked many times. I think almost every convention, every panel I've ever done, someone asks, "What's your favorite game?" And every single time I've said Link to the Past. Even just playing it right now, it's just like, I just love looking at it. I love the way it feels, like the way the controls respond and everything. It's just a game. I just somehow.
It is a game.
I just really love it. Yeah, it is a game.
I think this is where their heads come off. What? This is so creepy.
Yeah, you're right.
Creepy.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I'm running.
I love that. The best thing I would say with those guys, honestly, is to throw a pot at them, because one pot kills them. Okay. See? Yeah. And there's the key we were looking for.
Not to mention, that's the most fun way to kill them.
It is. Love that.
I love throwing the pots. I love breaking. I love cutting the grass. Just all the simple things you can do.
Mowing the grass.
Yeah. Just slashing it with your sword.
Yeah. You can go to the right first, because I think there's blue coins in there.
Oh, I remember that.
5 rupees
It's
each.
like they're shaped in a diamond. No, it's not the one. Yeah. But there is a part like that, I think. And these things, I know, use the magic dust when you get that.
Yeah.
And they turn to fairies.
Absolutely. Magic dust is a good little trick in this game. Good, that's one. Nice. Fuck him up. And then the last guy will go crazy, so watch out.
Oh, I'm out.
Okay, now it's sword. There you go. You got this. Fuck him up. This is so much easier with the arrow.
Yeah. It's a shame I didn't have any more.
And that is the first pendant.
All right, so you want to go for the second dungeon?
Sure, which is the desert dungeon. There's an item we need before we can... There's the Pegasus boots. Pegasus shoes, sorry. The Pegasus shoes, not the boots! There's an item we need before we can go to the desert. And let's see if you can jog your memory.
Okay, before the desert. Now, I remember... I could be wrong, but I remember that the order of these next two didn't really matter. Like, you could do them in any order.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, because I kind of remember doing the desert third.
Okay.
But what do you need to get before the desert? I think there's the book.
There you go. So we got to go get the book, which is in the library.
The Book of Moldora or
something like that.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things about The Legend of Zelda that I guess I don't hear many people talk about is why it's... Why are we talking about The Legend of Zelda?
It sparks your imagination.
Thank you. That's where I was going with that. Yeah. It sparks your imagination. When, as a kid, it really just... It puts a lot of like visions, I guess, in your head of this whole world, this whole universe, and it's such an adventure, and it's such a rich environment. It's there's just such a, people talk about like what universe would you like to be in from anything. Like if you could go into the Star Wars universe, or like if you could be part of something, it would be fucking awesome beyond anything, I think, to go to Hyrule and be in this universe.
Well, it kind of sucks to have knights shooting arrows at you and stuff all the time, but
sure, and it would suck to be fighting a Sith or something, but
you could just stay in the house, you'll be fine.
Yeah, let Link take care of it. Maybe you could just be the person that lives
there you go. Let's see what the real name is.
Yeah, it is
Medora. I was pretty close.
It's almost like Majora.
Yeah, Medora. Just to emphasize how big of a deal this game was to me and how much it sparked my imagination. Oh, and there's the brothers with the
I need to get the bomb now.
That's cool. I think a lot of this type of adventure story owes itself to Lord of the Rings, the books.
A lot of the stuff in general owes to Lord of the Rings. But I will say Lord of the Rings owes to like Grimm's fairy tales and all that, because people talk about the dragon in The Hobbit, but there was those things that all came from fairy tales even before Lord of the Rings.
Like there's combinations of things, but the thing is, basically like the point I'm making is that I didn't know about Lord of the Rings when I played this. I didn't really hear about that for some reason until like way later. I didn't hear about the books until the movies were coming out.
Oh really?
Yeah, nobody brought it up. Like nobody ever. Like,
what about the Hobbit?
But I didn't even hear about The Hobbit.
Oh, wow.
Like, I think I once saw The Hobbit in a bookstore, and I just saw the cover, but I didn't think anything of it because I didn't know what it was.
Oh, okay.
But Lord of the Rings, I never heard of at all. So this game, I think, had the same impact on me that the world had, the Lord of the Rings, but this
not knowing that it derived from Lord of the Rings.
So this sort of substituted all that for me. So all of the inspiration I had to write stories and things all came from Zelda.
Yeah, that's amazing.
I mean, the first game a lot, but this was the one that sort of blew the roof off. This was when it really opened up.
Another thing that Zelda obviously derives from, we got to mention, we haven't mentioned it so far, is Shigeru Miyamoto himself, who came up with The Legend of Zelda. And he's been quoted many times talking about Zelda, and the reason he made it was that when he was a kid, it wasn't like it is now, because he's a little bit older. People were a little bit, they felt a little more comfortable with letting their kids just go out and do like whatever, where today parents are a little more worried about things happening to their kids, but back then little kids could go out and explore, and there was also less in the environment. You walk around here and there's a store on every corner, so you could just go out and you could explore the woods as a kid, and you could explore around, and you didn't have to feel unsafe. So Zelda came from his childhood experiences of just going around and exploring the area in which he grew up, and that was his one of his reasons in making it and designing the game is try to like relive that experience through a video game, which is pretty awesome. So we owe so much to Miyamoto for doing this, and what a genius that man is to not only did he invent Zelda, but he invented Mario and
Metroid
and so many,
and to this day still
and it's still designing to this day. Man is a genius. I can't imagine.
It's hard to
imagine
The
your life
flawed
without
genius,
Zelda.
but yes.
Can you even imagine your life without Zelda or with?
I mean, it would be a life without like video games.
Without Mario? Like, imagine if it didn't exist.
I mean, so much of the stories, like one of the first things I ever did with telling stories was audio tapes. I was like doing like, voices and narration stuff, but then I would do like just pictures, and that would be, this is back in the 80s I'm talking about. I would, back when video wasn't, like, it was really expensive to get a video camera. We didn't have one yet. We sometimes would borrow them for birthdays and things like that. But before I was able to make movies, I would make these little picture albums. So me and my friends would go out in the backyard, and we would take these plastic baseball bats and pretend that they're swords, and we would be sword fighting in them. But they were still pictures, all still pictures, and we'd put them all through the photo album, and I would write next to them like a little story of like what's supposed to be happening, and that was it. I was basically making like a book with pictures, but that was all inspired by the adventures in the Zelda games.
Speaking of swords and Zelda, when I was a kid, I really wanted to have the sword from Zelda, from the first Zelda, the wooden sword. So my dad made me out of wood, he made me like the Zelda sword, and then a friend of mine said, oh, well, don't you want it to be the more powerful sword? Like, wouldn't you want it to be like the Master Sword? Why you have the wooden sword? And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. So I had my dad paint it white. So my dad painted the sword white, so now I had the white sword. And the reason he didn't make the Master Sword is because in the game, in the original Zelda, the magic sword in the first game, it's like kind of like a lightning bolt shape.
Yeah.
So he wasn't gonna like recut the sword or whatever. So he just painted it white. So I had the white sword. So I had the white sword. I'm like going around, whatever, swinging around the white sword. And then my friend says to me, well, it'd be awesome. It'd be even better if it was like you just slayed a moblin. So have your dad paint blood on it. Like you just killed a moblin. So I came back to my dad again with the white sword. I'm like, can you put blood on it? And he's like, I don't know. You want me to put like blood on it? He didn't like really want to do it, but he did it. He put like the blood on it, and then I'm going around with like the sword with like the. But I think he eventually took it away from me because I think I was. I probably was getting in trouble with it.
I think I told this story in another video, but I do remember, I have a vivid memory of being in class, and a kid had like a piece of paper rolled up and was pretending it was the Legend of Zelda sword, and he's going because the sword shoots, and the teacher thought he was like doing like a gun, and then it was like don't do that, that's very inappropriate. And he's like, oh, but it was the Legend of Zelda sword, and she goes, does the Legend of Zelda sword shoot? And then everybody in the class was like, oh yeah, it does.
Like, how do you not know that? Right?
Yeah.
Another classic trick in Zelda. Light the lights, and you can find all kinds of stuff. Easy way to go about that is just stand over the holes and swipe your sword as fast as possible.
Yeah, actually, that's exactly what I used to do too.
And you hit him in the head.
And you might get hit by those things coming out, but you'll just you'll take it, and then it won't.
Be a man, take the hit.
Yeah, if you get hit, you take it and like it.
Take it like a man from the big worm.
The Maltese Falcon. Alright, I'm gonna try to go nowhere near it.
Good. Nice. Nice. All right. Yeah.
Wow.
Good work.
Wow.
That guy's a fuck. Oh, not.
Oh, yeah. I like this where you think you get the Master Sword.
It's that one. It's that one right above you.
You think you get the Master Sword, and it's like, nope, that's not it.
And then this guy. Watch out for the thief trying to steal shit.
Yeah, that's right. He sucks.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, I should use my. Yeah, I love this here where
this is the only part where the animals
are all
come out.
Yeah, the animals are all scattering. You go up and get the sword. I use the music in this. Do you have to read this or?
You know,
I always like the. I always like this part too. Here we go, Master Sword. I just loved how cinematic that whole thing is, leading up to the sword and the animals and everything. All right, so here we are at Aghanim. The last moment of Princess Zelda.
it was one of those Darth Vader moments, like in Empire Strikes Back, when you find out, like, Luke, I am your father. You know, he's his father. When it's revealed that Aghanim is actually Ganon, it's kind of like, oh my god, Ganon really is in the game. Because up until this point in the game, you think that this guy is the villain.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It seemed like it really felt once you get here that it was a complete experience enough. But then the game just goes above and beyond. Well, he's doing this one a lot here.
Very predictable patterns. Boom. I will send you to the Dark World, Link.
This to be 3? That's kind of interesting. We got this is a test, and then we got another extra little T. Is it just because of this? No, that makes it worse. All right. I don't understand where that T is coming from. It's got to be something with this clear term command. Like, I think that this escape character, whatever it's printing, is not quite working the way it's supposed to, but I'm not really sure. This will only work with Unix terminals. Man console codes. ANSI control sequences. These are special bytes or sequences of bytes which won't get displayed but are used to configure the terminal. You can do various things with them, like move the cursor around, printing color, bold, etc. The string of bytes under metal posted instructs the terminal to clear the entire terminal window. Like, what I don't understand is why none of these are the same as the other things I looked up the first time I fucking did this shit. Right, this is not a C function, this is just a Linux command. Oh. Well, that's probably not it. Not quite, no. It's like they're showing me the shit in different format than what I got it before. Which I'm guessing is just the difference between hexadecimal and not. But like sometimes they have one slash and sometimes they escape that slash with another slash, and I'm not entirely sure whether I need to do that or not in my own. Because like I think slash X means hexadecimal, but is that just one character? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like, or is it all just one? You know? Yeah. Pewter. I want to look this up. Except it's that 2J. The one that I had no parameter there. From what they were saying, if I leave out the things on there, it'll actually move cursor to top in the home position also. Interesting. So now I've got a space before his is a test, because that moves it to the... Okay. So yeah, seems like no parameters is fine. That'll move it up to the top. Clear term. I don't know if this one is actually working. Doesn't matter. Now what happens? I will never give up the fight. I'll probably be playing some Sonic a bit soon. I don't know. Maybe I should take a break. Maybe I should take a break. Although I haven't made any progress. Huh. I'll be back later. Thanks for watching.